we're going to see. Hello, we're ready? Good day, everyone. Welcome to Penwood High School's YouTube page. Today, we're going to be highlighting our honor roll awardees who were rewarded this week on the 3rd of March 2026. Welcome to all our supporters, welcome to our viewers. And today, we are going to be hosted by a very special individual. Today we have someone who is a part of the diaspora. We have Mr. Gerard Morris Seeley, who is a proud Caribbean son whose journey reflects passion, purpose, and regional excellence. He was born and raised in Barbados, and he moved to Jamaica in 2019 to further his professional and academic pursuits, and has since become a dynamic voice in the Jamaican media. He's a graduate of the Caribbean Institute of Media and Communication, CARIMAC, at the University of the West Indies, Mona, where he sharpened the skills that have powered a decades long career in journalism. With 10 years of experience in the industry, he has specialized in sports journalism while also contributing meaningfully to entertainment and current affairs. His work at Sportsmax saw him serve as host of Schoolboy Football and multiple other broadcasts, along with senior producer of Sportsmax Zone, helping to shape some of the region's most compelling sports coverage. Over the years, Gerard has covered major sporting events, including cricket, football, and both the Summer and Winter Olympic Games, bringing Caribbean audiences closer to the action on the world stage. Today, he continues to tell impactful stories as a reporter and producer at Television Jamaica, contributing to the country's leading newsroom. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Gerard Morris Seeley.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Rochester,
You're
for
welcome.
that lovely introduction. Uh, Good morning to all of you viewing on Penwood High School's YouTube page. Of course, this is a special occasion where we are having a discussion with the students from the honor roll from for last school year, and we're having a conversation first though with the coordinators of who would have had a hand in these students going forward to collect these awards, something that they should all be proud of. And I'm going to go down the line and start by first introducing Ms. Celia Gale Smith, who is representing Christopher Dunchi, the grade 7 coordinator, presently in grade 8. These would have all gone on to the new academic year with their students. So they've come up a grade. And Joelle Hill, she's representing Mr. Jermaine Scott from grade 8, who's currently in grade 9. Tanya Lawrence, who's represented by my good friend Jelani Horton. I'm not afraid to say that. He's in grade the grade 8 coordinator, who's gone on to grade 10 coordinator, and Mrs. Latoya Rochester, who gave that lovely introduction, presently in grade 11. So I want to first start this conversation by asking, what has it been like having such an instrumental hand in these students' lives? Anyone can start.
Well, I can go ahead. It has been it has been a very proud moment to see the struggles that these students have overcome, and they have done so well. And I actually feel like a parent. I'm pretty proud.
And when you interact with them each day, what is that like? What do they seem motivated? Do you have to do the motivation for them, or do you see that, hey, these students can do it and you can get the full potential out of them?
They are definitely self motivated. There are days when they are a little bit discouraged, which is normal. But I mean, it's such a pleasure to just be there for them, to give them the encouragement in regards to their schoolwork, in terms of them building friendships, home life. You're pretty much like a parent to them, a confidant. So it's really good to motivate them and to see them actually go through the things that they've actually set for themselves in terms of goals and to achieve them.
What about you, Mister?
I would say that it is a very refreshing process, as you are able to see the students move from one level to the next, and afterwards, hearing different reports from different teachers saying that, I've been seeing a change in this person, they're more focused, giving commendations to the student, and seeing all of that happen, unfolding before your eyes, it's rather meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can feel free to jump in at any point in time. This is a panel discussion.
Um, it has been hard work for the teachers, but we are seeing the success now as it relates to our students coming up. I know that people tend to see our school as quote unquote or the ghetto school. Um, I'm going to say this, not not because you come from the ghetto means you need to act ghetto. Ghetto is a state of mind. And this is what I can say my team and my family has done, is that we tend to break that mentality. And we are now seeing the fruits of our labor as it relates to students becoming honor roll. And we are getting passes way beyond that we would normally get. So yes, I can safely say we can actually take our hats off and take a bow.
Well said, Mr. Horton. And one of the things that came to mind is when I look at, like, for example, some of our students who are on the honor roll, as mentioned previously, they are facing various adversaries. However, I admire one key quality that I have seen represented across the board because I've had the privilege of teaching most of these students. And what I've noticed is that whenever they're absent for whichever reason, you don't have to say to them, go and seek out what was completed. They are so self motivated. They'll go and ask their friends. They'll even go to the teachers and say, what did I miss? What assignments did I miss? Could I please get it? Because they want to ensure that they're on top of their studies. They want to ensure that they are not lacking. They're not missing any key assignments. They're not missing any key information. There's that motivation, which I think stems from not just their parents or their homes, but also from their teachers' interest in their learning.
Yeah. I want to come back to that point that Mr. Harton made. Um, what are some of the things that you teach your students to break that mentality? I mean, you said that you've had access to teaching, your family tries to break the mentality, but how do you now translate what you've been taught to your students?
All right. Knowing that you are my good friend, we're coming from a wide sporting background,
Yes.
and I can safely say I think one of the things that UE Volleyball Club, Go UE, has done for us is the fact that they ensure that we have an education. And it starts, well, from my, personally speaking, for my class or classes. And as much as I'm not a form teacher anymore, I still try to tell them this: discipline, honor, and commitment. We don't have the discipline, we will never get anywhere. We don't have the honor, we will not stand for anything, we will fall for everything. And you don't have commitment, then you are not going to be committed to anything or try to seek anything or finish anything. So that is one of the main things I try to instill in my students. And it, not only my students, but any student I see walking across. Some of them will tend to come and talk, and they just want a listening ear. And I think that is what we do for the students here at Penwood, right? We give them a listening ear, we give them a voice. And I think it is translated, or it's coming over into the work that they are producing. One of the main things I can safely say that the robotics club
Mhm.
that we have started came third last year. And we are, again, to go back to the point, the so called ghetto school, but this school defeated top schools to come third overall, right? So I think that we are making strides, right? There is a photo club, there's a tourism club, right? There's table tennis, there are many other clubs, and I think this has given students the opportunity to show their talent. So yeah, I think that should answer the question.
Yeah, can hear the passion.
Yeah.
And I want to come to Ms. Gail Smith now. Sports is something that teaches about life, as Mr. Horton would have just mentioned. But you had the opportunity to teach some of these students HFLE, and that too in itself is a topic of life, subject of life. You learn a lot about life, you love other expressions as well. But how do you try to fit in some other lifestyle lessons to them so that they can think of themselves as more than where they come
I love your question. What I normally do with my students or students in general, I sit in the lab, and students can feel free to come and have lunch with me. So that is the time when they actually let their hair down, so to speak. They're able to express themselves, as Mr. Houghton says, freely. And we just talk about life in general. So nothing is taboo to talk about as long as it is child friendly, and the conversations they're good conversations, because with HFLE it talks about life and the skills that you need. So if you don't have those life skills, you're not able to maneuver through your education. So you have to learn how to make good decisions, how to say no, how to protect yourself, and how to make good friends. So we normally, for the students, if they're having issues, instead of sometimes bringing it to the dean, because the dean is overwhelmed sometimes with issues, and the form teachers, we'll have like a little panel discussion.
from?
And if there's an issue, they're able to express their side. Everybody gets a chance to talk, and I ask them to decide what they think should be the way forward. So they feel a part of the process, and they also learn how to love themselves. So I encourage them to love themselves. And I mean, no matter what it is, there's greatness within all of them.
And what about, when they have situations, whether at home in their personal lives, because they are students, yes, but they
Yes.
are children. Uh, how do you help them, especially if it's affecting their schoolwork or whatever? They come and they have these conversations with you. How do you help them navigate those situations?
I allow them to share in a safe space
Mhm.
where it's private. And also, depending on what it is that they're facing at home, then you know that the guidance department is the first point of call,
Yeah.
because the guidance department here is a very open door policy. Students feel very comfortable to share with the guidance counselors issues that they might have, and sometimes they might feel a little bit uncomfortable to share at first, but once they're able to share certain issues that they're experiencing at home, I reassure them that it's okay, and that help is here. And I usher them to the guidance department, and I let them know that everything that is shared is confidential.
Yes.
And then the guidance department, they would take over. So we have a reporting policy here at Penwood, that if teachers have noticed that there's an issue with a student or students at home, then we fill out the forms, we take it to the guidance department, and we let the students know that we have to share this information because we want to ensure that they are safe, and parents are brought on in the process to ensure that they are a part of it and they too need help. So we give them the help as well.
Fantastic. So, those of you watching, if you need any assistance, you can always come to the guidance counselor and get that assistance that you need.
Yes.
Miss Hill, we are all young at this desk. Let's start
Yes.
there. But being a young teacher yourself, how do you find that relation to the young students?
What I have done is try to build some form of rapport with the students, whether by finding something in common. So I will ask them just questions like, "Do you guys listen to this song, or do you know this person?" Or that will spark a conversation, and they'll be like, "Miss, you know this?" And I will like, "Yes, I do." And then after that, forms some form of a bond or connection, and whenever they're having issues or stuff, they would normally say they want to talk about it or just sit where I am at and they'll be fine. So that initial bond allows them to have some form of a safe feeling so that they're able to relate to me as a young teacher.
Yeah. Do you find it difficult though to bridge that gap between authority and sisterhood?
With some students, there are challenges present, but once you are able to um, re-emphasize that boundary, they will understand because um, psychologists normally say that children do try to push boundaries. They try
Right.
to see how far they can go.
Mhm.
And with a lot of these students, they try to say, "Oh, what if I say this?" So
Mhm.
you always have to reinforce that boundary and say, "Okay, no, no, no," you know, and just let them know that yes, we have a good teacher student relationship, but you can't say that, and you constantly have to reinforce that. So yeah.
Mr. Chester, you've had the pleasure of dealing with the majority of these honor roll students. How do you navigate their personalities? Because all students have different ways of learning. I for sure was an audiovisual kind of learner, so anything that I would have read would have made it difficult for me to regurgitate. But when you have students who have all kinds of learning abilities, how do you navigate the different personalities that you have to clash with?
Well, they say experience teaches wisdom, right? I have been here at Penwood High School for, oh wow, it's 23 years, I believe, or
Wow.
24. It has been a while. And over the years, I've had the privilege of dealing with different personalities, different learning styles. And in the past, we used to feel the situation out,
Yeah.
observe, see what's happening. However, since I think we implemented this since COVID-19 consistently. I'm also head of humanities. And one of the things that we do is that when we get our students in September, for their first set of classes, we actually do a learning styles assessment. So it's basically a quiz, or that's like a little form that they fill out to determine how best they learn. Then once we have determined that, the department comes together because we have common planning sessions here at the school. We meet at least twice per month. If we need to meet more often, that's facilitated by administration. And then when we come to common planning session, we field ideas. We determine what best will work with our students based on the majority learning styles. The next thing we do is implement differentiated instruction. So we don't just sit down in class and the time of old, like when I was going to school and getting ready for common entrance, and the teacher talks and the children write. No, we no longer do that here. And I hope in most schools across Jamaica. Instead, we try to make our classes more interesting. We are more technology driven in the sense that we use more projectors in our instruction, televisions, music, whatever we can use to, for especially the visual learners, we have it present. We also introduce more tactile activities. So if they're learning a topic, for example, we don't just let them stick to writing things about what they're learning. They're given the chance to build, they're given the chance to manipulate, they're given the chance to experience We do even something as simple as tours to help to teach a topic right within the school or the class time. We also ensure that we learn from each other.
Right.
So myself and Mr. Horton are we're both HODs, and we have something that basically it's a classroom assessment document where we visit our teachers. We look for best practices. You know, time of all, you see, like your HOD coming or the principal coming, you'll be afraid
Right.
because you think you're going to be graded for something.
I certainly
Our
felt that way.
teachers now
Yes.
realize that we're learning from each other. So, for example, Miss Hill is a member of my department, and Miss Hill would have an activity that I find very interesting, and I would take it back to the department where we meet for common planning time, and I say, Miss Hill tried this. How can we put this in our classes and perhaps build on it? And we do just that. So it is a situation now where I am happy that there's so many young persons in the field because we're getting so many vibrant ideas,
Yes.
and it's not just limited to it's my department and this is what we're doing. We share. So whatever, for example, Mr. Horton comes up with, he'll throw it in the HOD group and say, "Team, what do you think about this? It's something we could implement." I will say the same thing, and then right across the board, we can see, as he mentioned earlier, where academically our students are performing way better than before.
Right.
And then I must say, we have the privilege of having many of our past students back here as teachers. And we're talking teachers trained up to their master's level because that's how committed they are to helping to build Brand Penwood.
And you know, some of the things that I've seen people empathize with teachers for would include the difficulty you have dealing with external forces, whether it may be academically, whether it may be parental. How do you, as a teacher with such experience, find the motivation to come back every single day?
It boils down to one thing: my students,
Yeah.
the main stakeholders in any institution. I look back and I say to myself, the reason I remember I came to Penwood, and when I came to Penwood as an instructor, I actually left the institution. And it was because of the grade nine, the current grade nine supervisor, Mr. Scott. He was actually one of my junior students when I came here, and Mr. Scott's batch enticed me to return
Yes.
to Penwood to be a continue instructing. And then each year when I said, because I would be scouted by other schools and other schools would say, you went to like, and then each year I would meet the new batch and I was like, oh no,
You're
I
not
just
leaving.
love there's just so much potential here.
Yes.
Because take for example, I am the grade 11 coordinator currently, and I traveled with these students from grade 7. And so I said to them that you guys are no longer my students. You're now my children. You're my daughters. You're my sons. Their parents are like my family members. Each and every one of them, they have my personal number. Whether it is parents, guardians, child, they all have my personal number because we have built such a rapport that they are mine. And even when they leave the institutions, many of them actually contact me to let me know what they're doing because of the bond that we have built. So to me, it's not the school, it is what you choose to make of yourself when you're placed at the institution. Yes, this institution is in the inner city, but every single child that I've had the privilege of teaching, whether or not they want to admit it, by the time they leave, they will say, you know what I learned at Penwood? Even if it's one thing, I can use it in life. For example, Sheldon Cottrell, the cricketer,
Yes.
the West Indian cricketer,
Mhm.
I taught him English for 5 years.
Wow.
And he grew here at Penwood High School. He played cricket here at Penwood High School. And now he's an international cricketer. There's so much potential here. It's just for you to decide, what am I going to do with this opportunity? Am I going to waste it, or am I going to make use of it and become who I'm destined to be?
Does anyone want to pick up on that point?
I guess I think what um, I try to explain to the students overall. I think in life you have to be a R player and not a E player.
Mm.
What is meant by that? That was a good pass. That was a good block. That was a good spike.
Yes.
Yeah,
Volleyball
a
references.
volleyball reference,
Right.
right? Yes, and not the E player where if I did block or if I did pass the ball, right? You have to go out there and be confident in what you are doing. And I think that is what my colleagues here do, instill a level of confidence. And as we tell them, all right, if you're doing 5 subjects, you get the one, be proud that you got the one. Come back and do a next one, and then do a next one, and then do a next one. It is not how you start, it's how you finish, right? And I keep on saying to them, and I know they probably hate me saying this, but life is about choices. So try and make the right choice, right? Try and make the right choice, and don't be afraid to make your mistakes. Don't be afraid to make your mistakes. Make them. That is how we learn. We as teachers, we make mistakes. The thing is, we need to admit that we made a mistake. I'm not afraid to admit that I made a mistake, especially in my class. It's like, oh, yes, you got me. I made a mistake. Let's look back on it, right? And I think when our students see us being more humble, they will be able to relate to us, right? So we just have to keep on moving on or keeping on. And I hope that as this goes out, people would see us and reach out, give us a helping hand. We do need it. We need, and not only that, we are now doing well in the track and field scene, right? I have to give it up to the track and field team who came in the top 20, right? At the corporate champs. Look at that, right? So there are bigger and better things coming out for us. And I would like, as long as I am here, I am going to do my best to ensure that our students get the best education and get the best opportunities in life, right? As Picasso said, a good artist will borrow, but a great artist will steal. So, yes, I will steal some work and I will make it my own and I will pass it on to our students.
Yeah. My final question, you wanted to make a point to that?
No, I
Okay.
didn't.
My final question to all of you. What you, in celebrating your achievements as a school, as teachers, where do you want this institution to go?
All right. Now, when I came to Penwood High School, we were not doing CXC subjects as such. And I remember there was a group of us who were young teachers at the time, and we said, we're going to get them started. And we did. Now we're doing up to the CAPE level of examinations. When I started at Penwood, many students just hoped to graduate. And then we said, okay, what after? Now many of them are at university.
Right.
Many are lawyers. One contacted me during the COVID pandemic to say, Miss, I'm a doctor in the USA and it's time to teachers from Penwood High School because I was there for 5 years. So it's a situation we're in, we can only go up. Based on what the trajectory that I saw us started, where we started and where we're going now, we can only go up. My hope is that within the next 5 years, our CSEC passes will double in every single subject. And things are being put in place to do just that. We have done studies as it relates to targeting, well, targeting is probably a strong word. Helping the boys is probably better because we are, the majority of our population are males. And we realize that some were falling back, things were put in place to assist them. We changed our teaching strategies. We began to train the teachers continuously. It wasn't a thing like in the past where you went to college and that was it. No. No, every year, at least 3 to 6 times for the year, we engage in training sessions to help the teachers to not only help themselves but to also help the students. We also plan that by within the next 5 years, our school will be on the map as in sports. We have been making strides wherein as it relates to sports, we are stepping up as Mr. Houghton said in track and field. I saw some improvements in our footballers as well as our footballers presentation in their tournaments. I also recognize that we have a team being built as it relates to table tennis, and we're hoping that these different things. There was a time when we were doing extremely well in squash. I hope for us to go back to squash. At one point, we actually represented Jamaica in squash. So I want to go back to that. I also want our students to have more of a mindset that seeing their teachers of currently who are past Penwood students doing so well in university, coming back to the institution, going elsewhere. I want more students to say tertiary education for me. So we're asking for help from the wider community. Right now, our Past Students Association, they've started to assist us in getting our school bus so that we can go to various functions and activities. We're still not there yet. We've only, I think we reached 700,000 and we need a couple million. So we'll be asking for more help there. We have had the persons around the community, the churches, etc., helping more students to sit CSEC examinations. They're paying for them, and we are thankful for that. But we still need more help because right now, for the late entry the other day, we have to still be begging. Listen, we have 10 more students who can step in. So we want more students to be able to do that. So I know where Penwood is coming from. I have seen the wonderful growth we have undergone. Trust me, we have come a far way. I'm so proud of the teachers here, the students, the other stakeholders, the administration. Excellent job. But I know more can be done, and we just need the help. We're tucked away. Many persons don't even know we exist. But if more persons could get on board and assist us, I can see the great institution this will be.
I think that basically sums it
It
all.
sums up for everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I want to thank all you for
You're
joining me
welcome.
here this
Yes.
morning. I mean, it was a fantastic discussion, conversation, lots of enlightenment. And I want those of you watching and participating, this is the 60th anniversary of the school's
Yes.
existence. And I want you to, they are celebrating under the theme of celebrating achievements, sustain a legacy, and purposefully growing. And as you can see here, as you heard, as you watched, you saw the passion, these administrators, because they're all part of an administrative team that comes right after the principal, goes down to the ancillary staff. They want to see this school continue beyond 60 years and even further past 120.
Yes.
Some of us may not be here. Some of us may not see the 120th, but we want that as we go on, this legacy is sustained and growth continues to happen. So thank you again, all of you teachers.
You're
And
welcome.
that is it for the first panel discussions. They're going to make their exit now. Then we're going to have a conversation with the honor roll students, who I will get ready to introduce shortly. So thank you again.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you
So
so much.
don't you can come. Year, and they have now gone on to higher grades. So when you hear me say grade 7, it's actually grade 8 that the student is currently in, but the awards are for the previous grade. So to my left, immediately, Cristiano Rowe, he's awarded for grade 7. Grade 8, Tanelia Lamont, second time at the principal's on a roll. Actually, she has CSEC passes already. She's in grade 9. She has a one in physical education, and she also has a pass in H&S biology, which is human and social biology. To her left is Rihanna Blackwood, most outstanding female student in grade 8. She was awarded for the honor roll in grade 9, and Kiara Bourne is the grade 10 honor roll honoree, and this is her second time as well in the on the principal circle, principals honor roll. We called it the principal circle when I was at school, and she has a pass in City and Guild Stage 2 Maths. So we'll have a short discussion with those students. Thank you for joining me this morning. You all look so bright eyed. I'm happy to be here. Cristiano, let me start with you. You're the only male among these young ladies. How do you feel about that, being a standout amongst your peers?
Well, never really expect it at first.
You can hold up the mic there. Yeah.
I really never expect it, but my mother keep on push me,
Yeah.
and that's what made me turn out to be the only boy who got it.
And when you saw your mommy's reaction to hearing that you were being on the roll, how did
She
that
was
make you feel?
she was in tears of joy that made me happy and
Yes.
feel excited to make my mother proud.
Yeah. And I want to ask you, as a young man, there are so many things that are against us as young men. How do you find yourself staying grounded and focused on what it is that you want to achieve?
Well, mo, I just stay in my own
Hmm.
zone,
Hmm.
like listen to music and
Yeah.
talk to myself, study, focus, and
And when those bad influences try to get to you, how do you stave them off?
ignore them and just walk away from problems.
Yeah. I want to talk to Tanelia. Second time what the principal's on a roll. How do you feel about that?
I feel proud of myself. I'm very happy.
And how do you approach your studies?
Well, sometimes like I follow the, the timetable.
Hmm.
So I know I'm for the first. So I study order by order.
Yeah. And making the early choice to do CSEC, how did you navigate that?
Well, I first really feel
Yeah.
nervous, but by my mother herself, she motivate me for do it.
And you got positive results in both of those exams, so you must be pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
How do your teachers keep you motivated? How do they help you?
Well, one certain teacher, she helped me a lot by like she pushed me to do everything
Hmm.
and like she'll talk to me sometime
Yeah, yeah.
and everything.
Rihanna,
You see?
most outstanding female in grade 8. You continue that into grade 9, and now you in grade 10. You're obviously doing well. How has school been for you since you got here?
School has been good. I'm trying my best to keep my grades up.
Mhm.
Now to make my parents proud and first of all to make me proud.
Yeah. And which is your favorite subject? What subjects gravitate towards you the most?
Mathematics and principle of business.
What is it about those subjects that make you want to do them? Are they, you know, is it a distraction from anything that you have going on outside of school? Do you find that you just find them easy, or what is it?
Um, well, maths is challenging, but I like challenge, so
Mm,
I don't mind it. And I like business, so when I was first introduced to principle of business,
mhm.
yeah, I started off with it.
And how do you find time to still be a sociable person if you are one?
So I make sure at school I do my work. After school, I will in the night I will do my homework. I talk to friends before or after, cause schoolwork come first. So.
And Kiara, I see that you are a math lover as well.
Maths.
Congratulations to
Ew.
you.
Well, actually ate maths. I actually ate maths.
Yeah,
I was so surprised because my math teacher, she really helped me a lot. She pushed me and she insists on me coming to school
yeah.
and making sure I'm at every class whenever it's maths time. So I really appreciate that. I
I
don't really
heard,
like maths.
yeah, we just had a conversation with some of your teachers. You heard how passionate they are about you as students. All of you can answer this one. How appreciative, how much do you thank them for what they've done for you?
A lot,
Mm,
because when I just started coming to this school in ninth grade, I was kind of behind. I was really behind, and my teachers, they helped me
mhm,
to catch up and study. They know them always be behind me and tell me say you need for study, you need to come to class,
mhm.
and really appreciate them for that.
What about you, Rihanna? If you come down the line, if you come, same question at you.
I am 100% grateful for them because without them, I would have been here.
And I appreciate every teacher that I have because them take care of me at the same time
Yeah.
and them motivate me a lot. So I thank them for that.
I thank them for always a push me forward. Even sometimes when I say I can't bother to do it, them still push me forward in order to do that.
Yeah. I know you're in a new academic year. What are some of the goals that you set for yourself?
My goals to pass all my subjects, score high in all my exams, and come again to be the principal honor roll awardee again.
Actually, let me go down the line with that question as well. What are some of the goals that you set for yourself this academic year?
Well, I'd also like to be an honor roll again,
Yeah.
and I want to be the most disciplined student so I can help my other classmates to be brave and manage their own schoolwork too as well.
I would also like to pass my two CXE subjects for this year, and I also want to stay on the principal honor roll.
I would like to pass all my CXC subjects, and I would like to graduate and be the valedictorian at graduation.
Kiara, I want to talk with you a little bit longer. You are the oldest student here,
Yes.
and you've gone through different phases of your school life at Penwood. As a growing teenager, how difficult is it to remain focused as a student and still, have to deal with your teenage problems?
Well, it's a lot because sometimes I can't bother, I feel fed up, I feel
Yeah.
like we just say, you know what, I can't do this.
Mhm.
But then sometimes my teacher them help me to be motivated because whenever I'm not at school, they would normally call and ask what's the problem, and some of them will keep reminding me that I need to focus and do my work. And normally, um I would just look at a schedule that I have in my room because my teacher, Mrs. Rochester, told me once that it doesn't matter whatever you have to do, you write it down on the schedule. So if you want to spend a amount of time with your friends, you write it down. Anything at all, you write it down on that schedule, and
Yeah.
it will help you to stay focused. So yeah, that is what I have been doing, and it helps me a lot.
And what about your support system back at home?
Yes, my mom, she's very supportive. She helped me a lot. She do whatever she can.
Yeah.
You know.
And how does Penwood help with shaping your life, making you and helping you get in the frame of mind of saying, okay, well, school is almost over for me. What do I want to do next?
Um, my teachers,
Mhm.
they would normally, ask me questions like what I would like to do, like after I finish school and other stuff, and we normally talk about it with them, and them encourage me to continue do my best and strive for whatever I want to achieve in life.
And this is a question for everyone now on the table. I know that when you say that you go to Penwood, there are some stigmas against you. I don't like to use that word, but that is what they are. How do you rise above them and just stay focused on who you are and being proud to be a Penwood High student?
Because nothing is wrong with the school. Um, Basically, you just have to go there and do your best. You know.
It's not about where you go, it's what you put in at the school you go.
sometimes like the company around you are not good company, but sometimes you find a good company, and like if you find a support system like a teacher or your friend, and like you gather around them.
I would have said what Rihanna said. It's not the school you go, it's what you go and put out.
And Cristiano, you are a young man. What are some of the things that you would like to do next after going through school?
After going to school, I would like to go to a good college and finish getting my education. Then after, I would like to be a chef or a professional footballer.
Hmm. Talk to me about that football career. You're playing football for Penwood High now?
Yes,
Yeah. And what that experience has been like for you?
it's been very nice. And even though sometimes I get discouraged, I still put up with it.
Yeah. And tell me about, competing and
Competing, it's very hard.
yeah.
Like, more, I have to be saving the goal because I'm the goalkeeper. I have to be saving the shots.
Oh. Young ladies, this question is for you. You're coming up in a world where you're actually starting to dominate most of the fields that when Mrs. Rochester and other teachers were younger and your parents are younger, they had to fight hard to pave this way for you. Now that you have opportunities, more opportunities as young women, and possibly when you get into the real world, there will be more opportunities for you. How does that motivate you to go after exactly what you want?
Well, I'm not exactly sure, but I would like listen to songs that help me to be in the right state of mind.
Mhm.
And sometimes when I talk to like God,
Yeah.
to help me every time in every exam. And since I want to be like a CEO or like a chef as well, when I like my mother push me every minute because
Yes.
sometimes when I like a lot of schoolwork, but yeah, I'm push myself.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. So just tell me about, being a young lady, have so many opportunities now. You can do anything that you want to be as a woman. Uh, how does that make you, feel motivated and want to conquer the world and go after everything that you want?
So, sorry. So, with God, you
Mhm.
can do anything. So, I just believe in Him, pray to Him, and to be a success.
Um,
Take your time. Take your time. That's
okay.
fine.
Me I try to find a way to explain what more.
Yeah.
So for me, I always I wanted to be a flight attendant when I was younger, but since I've grown up now, um, I've actually been considering being a nail tech because I like to do nails.
Yeah.
And when I really look at my family members, not um, I just want to be different, you know, want to become somebody positive in life, and this really helped me to stay motivated because I realize say not because you fail one time that means it's just finished. You're young, you have a lot of what let's say mm,
Opportunities, a lot of
opportunities.
chances and ways. Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, you have a lot of opportunities and
Yeah.
chances. So it's always okay to start over and try again.
And in this age of social media and influence, that word is being thrown around. How do you, filter through what is good, what is negative, what you want to follow, and what you don't want to follow?
Social media is a big platform. But whenever I see stuff I'm not really interested in, I just normally scroll past them,
Mhm.
you know.
The adults can learn something from you. Yeah. But what about you, Rihanna? How do you try to navigate and filter your social media intake?
Well, so you can can have a choice. The person not interested want to see more of this or less of this. Yes, sir. Most of the times when on social media, it's either like good things, but when I see bad things, sometimes I just skip video. And in time, like when they were my past, like I'm gonna coach, like should I tell me everything? Should I like cons, consult with me?
Yeah.
I think that's the word. And but I listen to her because she's like she know what good and she know what bad. So yeah,
I would do the same thing. I would like skip what I don't like and what I like. I would request more of it
Yes.
and block any negative things or things that's bad.
All right. Uh, Kiara, you're the oldest here, so I will ask you this question. Well, last two questions for the panel discussion. What are some of the things that you want people to know about Penwood High School?
Um, Penwood High School is a really great school. The teachers here, they really help you a lot. They push you. They are very supportive. And yeah, it's not about the school. It's what the school helps you to do and what you come here and do.
And we're in the theme of sustaining legacies. What is some of the advice that you would have for the younger students here on this panel and the students who are watching who are not necessarily students of Penwood High School, but they're younger than you are? You've been through most of it. You still have some things to learn, but given your experience so far, what would you tell them to help them get through their day-to-day life?
Come to school, stay focused, do your best, always.
Always. Thank you so much,
Thank you
young
too.
ladies and young gentlemen. It has been a pleasure, and I want to encourage you to continue doing the good work that you're doing. You're a standout amongst many students, even though there are
Thank you.
students here who are as good as you are. But don't lose focus. There are going to be hard times, tough times, but you have seemed to already found ways to navigate through them, and always seek that help, that good guidance that you're doing. And I'm sure that you'll reach for the stars. For the stars, I'll be watching as time goes on. Okay.
Okay.
And congratulations to you again.
Thank
All
you.
right. And that brings us to the end of our panel discussions for this Thursday. And yes, this is the 60th anniversary celebrations for Penwood High School. So I'm going to ask Mrs. Rochester to return for a second. Oh, you need me to come over? Oh, okay, students, you can exit. Young students here. And some things that we from. Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Gerard Morris Seeley.
Thank you.
Very good, very, 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 very good job. Now, for those of you who were actually live with us on Tuesday, when we had our honors convocation, we had our award ceremony, you would have recognized that these four students were richly rewarded for their academic performance for the 2024 to 2025 academic year. We had some wonderful gifts sponsored by, starting not from the greatest, but we're going from just listing them out. We had the Member of Parliament, the Doctor, the Honorable Andrew Holness. He is the Member of Parliament for this division, and he gifted each and every one of these students a brand new laptop to help them in their studies. The Baha'i community of Kingston, they also gave each student a scholarship, and as they set up a scholarship fund that will matriculate in what mature in the next 3 years to help them with their studies. And those studies don't have to be here at Penwood. So those who are going on to university, they'll have a little scholarship fund to help them to start their studies. We also had USANO, who gave each student a special individualized citation. We had as well the Penwood High School, who gave each student a nice plaque to commemorate their achievement. And we also had Nices. That lovely company gave each student a gift basket. We also had Brandon Douglas Ellis, I think it was Ellis. He donated to each student a backpack as well as some Bluetooth headphones. And I think there were some other gifts in that bag, And they basically got a goodie bag as well as a backpack for school. And so great things are coming out of Penwood High School. And as once the students have the support and we can get more supporters on board, we'll ensure that our students are attending consistently and doing well because they do have the potential. I'd also like to thank you for joining us, and I'd like to invite those of you who have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please share the link, get the word out there so other persons can join us. And remember, we are also available on Instagram. We are also available on Facebook and whatever you, and as well as TikTok. We're all over social media. So whatever you want to contact us, feel free to contact. If you want to be a part of our great things here at Penwood, please just contact us and we'll be happy to welcome you for your assistance. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.